Hi, everybody. I'm Raj with Sickbay. Sickbay is software that lives inside hospitals and collects and delivers physiologic data at scale. My team goes to our various clients and talks to our users and learns all about how clinicians, researchers, and quality folks are using this data now that they have access to this novel data set. Joining me today are my colleagues Michonne and Carolina, who are going to talk a little bit about a use case that Carolina heard about recently. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Morning, Carolina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so tell us a little bit about end-of-life care and your experience with Sickbay, because I think that's a personal subject near and dear to a lot of people that are going to be listening today.
Yeah, definitely. So the story that I want to share with you is a story, like you just introduced. It might be a little bit different than from the ones that you're used to hearing when it comes to hospital innovation and clinical care. But sometimes it's not about rushing to save a life. It's about honoring one, providing time that the patient may not have. So we know of Sickbay. It's a powerful tool. It's for remote monitoring near real-time data, vitals, managing acuity, improving clinical outcomes. We know how amazing Sickbay can be, and it absolutely is. But with that being said, it's also quietly transforming end-of-life care in ways that are so deep that you may even consider it a humane tool, right? So let's picture this. A family is at a bedside with their loved one who may be on life support, or they're just simply waiting on the time that no one is really truly prepared for. So our client shared how this scenario is just like a frequent one. It happens all the time. We know about it. We hear about it. But they decided that during these sensitive times that Sickbay can play a huge role. And in that role, it can be used to support not only the patients, but their families. So when a patient reaches the end of life, some of the clinical goals shift. It now becomes about like providing comfort, support, peace, and privacy. And clinicians can easily continue to monitor the patients, right? They can continue to monitor heart rate, oxygen levels, blood pressures. As long as it's in an unapproved hospital device, they can do it away from the patient's bedside. So this means that the monitors in the room can now be turned off. The alarms can be silenced a little bit. That constant beeping, the flashing, that medical noise that we are aware of, all of those things can be quieted for that patient, for that moment, and for that specific time. So think about this: the patient and the family, they get that privacy back. They essentially, that room now becomes, instead of having like this clinical space, it becomes more of a private, a sacred space. And behind the scenes, the clinical staff is still continuing to monitor that patient with Sickbay. I would describe it as it's kind of giving back time to that family. And that's what Sickbay can make possible. Like, it's more of a tech solution. It's not just a tech solution, it's a humane one. So for me, this story is a powerful one because it's creating space for like compassionate care at the end of life. And sometimes, that's the best thing that we can do. Like, it doesn't just have to be about innovation, intervention. It's just offering peace. And I believe with Sickbay, it can help do that.
Wow, you just gave me so much to think about, because you're right. We spend all day trying to innovate and, push the boundaries. But this story is about dignity, and it's about time for that family. That's amazing. I actually had not considered that this is another way where we're bringing value to our patients every day and their families. And I'm sure that clinicians who have Sickbay and using it in that scenario are finding that they're able to give better care because they're respecting that space with that family and that patient at the end of life. Thank you, Carolina. This was a great story.
Thank you.
Raj?
Hearing about the creativity of these clinicians taking care of their patients, especially in those patients' most vulnerable moments, is really something. Hearing about technology being used to make space, right? To have those emotions, to have, a very like human interaction. It's really inspiring. Thank you for telling your story. If you are interested out there in learning more about Sickbay, or if you are a user of Sickbay and you would like to come on and tell your story, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line. Until then, thank you, and we'll see you next time.